The ECOWAS Court of Justice is expected to host its inaugural Moot Court Competition in Niger State, Nigeria. Now, the competition is part of efforts to deepen knowledge of community law among law students in West Africa. It will further enhance and strengthen the protection for displaced and stateless persons. Our human rights lawyer in Nigeria, Frank Tietie, has been appointed to serve as one of the judges in the Moot Court Competition, and he now joins us on the line to tell us more. Frank, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update. Now, Frank, just tell us more about this competition and what it aims to achieve. And also just, the fact that, just for clarity's sake, a moot court is a court where law students argue imaginary and cases for practice. Just take us through what this is all about in this competition.
Oh, well, thank you very much. The competition has become necessary because we're talking about a moot court competition for the purpose of encouraging law students who ultimately become judges or lawyers and various officials of justice delivery system in the various countries that make up the ECOWAS sub-region. Now, interestingly, the ECOWAS court has become one of the most important success stories of the entire ECOWAS story. And to now think that it has not been maximized because of its human rights jurisdiction that serves to benefit the people, the citizens of the community citizens of the ECOWAS, is something that it's important that students learn how to get used to the procedures, to the rules, to community laws, the various protocols of the ECOWAS of the community. I'm talking about the ECOWAS community. So this moot court competition, it's meant to deepen the understanding of law students across the entire region for the purpose of ensuring that they are able to get used to the procedures of the court. And in doing that, it's expected that these students will, showcase their advocacy skills, their knowledge of the community law, and then they also, get involved in, sharing their knowledge of the jurisprudence that the court has developed since it began its sitting in 2005.
Now, Frank, let's talk about the moot case, so to speak, in terms of, looking at enhancing and strengthening the protection for displaced and stateless person. This is a crisis, especially on the African continent.
Initially, when the ECOWAS Court was established according to the revised treaty, it was meant to deal essentially with disputes that will arise between the state parties of the ECOWAS sub-region. However, its jurisdiction has been expanded to deal with cases of human rights, and then it has also given access to individual members of the various countries that make up the ECOWAS sub-region. Now, with a situation with various forms of human rights violations across the West African sub-region, together with this particular mention of stateless persons, so long as there is clear-cut violation of human rights by state parties or by other circumstances that are even unforeseen, such individuals or groups suffering such violations can approach the court. And the ECOWAS court, interestingly, over the years, has not shied away from exercising its jurisdiction over hearing cases of human rights violations. So, and that does not exclude cases that involve stateless persons, indeed, who can approach the court if their rights, their fundamental rights in Nigeria, and their rights under international law are violated.
Now, Frank, tell us about some of the young people who will be taking part in the competition, and what happens to the winners post the competition. With regards to what do they get? Is it just recognition, or is there prize money, or something?
Oh, well, definitely they will get recognition. But I think the ECOWAS community courts will be in a better position to give the details. But I know from the rules of the competition that I have been given, it's clear that the winning team, the best winning team, will definitely be recognized. The runner-up will also be recognized. But one thing that I find quite significant is that the best female oralist will also be recognized in addition to the male oralist. So in the competition, they will recognize winners at the team level and will also recognize winners at the individual level, specifically with regards to male and female. I definitely, they will get a sort of certificate of participation, certificate of being winners. But there is no doubt that something much more significant will go with winning the prize, winning the competition, because it's going to be very rigorous. From what I have seen in the rules, from the demands on the students, they are going to write briefs which are called memorials. They are going to prefer oral arguments, to support whatever position they are taking with regards to the hypothetical case, which actually highlights community laws and the various protocols of the ECOWAS, the ECOWAS countries. In this case, it's expected that when the students finish and the public is following, there will be a better understanding, a greater and increased understanding of how the ECOWAS court operates. And it's expected that when these students ultimately become lawyers, they will utilize the ECOWAS courts. As many lawyers like myself have used the court in the past to achieve various forms of human rights violation, redress for various forms of human rights violations.
Frank, we have run out of time, but I have to ask, how long is the Moot Court expected to be in session? How long will it take? And, is it over a couple of days? Just take us through that.
Yes, it will take a few days, the preliminary stages, and then you now have the knockout stages, then you get to the semi-final stages, ultimately before we get to the championship stage. In a couple of days, we will be able to get through all of these, and winners will be declared. I think it promises a very interesting time for the entire community, the ECOWAS community at this time. Now, to also think that students are looking forward to exhibiting their knowledge of international law, of the ECOWAS law, they have to talk about the community law, and then the procedure of the ECOWAS court. I think that we are in to a new wave of understanding of how the ECOWAS court can actually benefit the community citizens.
Frank, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you, my pleasure indeed.